feel about that business. You could care less. Yeah, right, exactly. That's not what we need to do. We need to do something very different with our best customers. So we've got, with our best customers, what we want to do is develop a strategy that really, first of all, retains them. So we've got to show them that we know who they are. We recognize, hey, you're a best customer. We want to keep them. And we want to sell more to them, but in a way that adds value to them. Now, in the banking industry, a lot of times what would happen is they'd say, well, yeah, that customer's been with us a long time. They've got 5 or 6 products. They're fully banked. They don't need anything else. What's wrong with that?
Because lives change.
Lives change all the time, especially your best customers, right? And if they haven't experienced the breadth of your product line, but yet they're a best customer, they should be the easiest people to sell to, you would think. So for example, even if you do a best customer analysis, I bet what you'll find, and now I'm calling best customers right now, I'm saying most profitable, okay? For the sake of definition now, I'm saying most profitable. Even if you look at your most profitable customers right now, I would bet you that what you'll find is about half of them are not experiencing the full breadth of your product line. And if they're not, what are they? I would say they're at risk. Let's say you're a human resources firm, and let's say I'm a company and I've purchased several of your more expensive products, but I'm not fully bought into you. Yes, I might be profitable, but I might not be a really firmly entrenched or loyal customer. Do you think that's possible? Absolutely, right? So we still have a lot of firming up to do even within our best customers. So retention of best customers and adding more value to them. So our marketing analytics system, aided with some research, some one-on-one interaction with these customers, can show us what do they like, what do they value, what ages are they? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have kids? How old are their kids? What's their home value like? What are their preferences? What magazines do they subscribe to? What are their hobbies? What do they watch on TV? What radio stations do they listen to? All that information is available, both in your database, if you have one, and then also for purchase that you can do something what we call appending to your database. So there's a lot that you can find out about your best customers if you really analyze your data. And so I think one of the biggest things, if you really go down this path of understanding who your best customers are and why they're your best customer, that might really change the focus of your business. Think about that. You might get entirely new ideas on your product line. You might decide, well, why do I want to mess with customers in the first place that aren't profitable? Why don't I just build my entire franchise around people who are my best customers? And so what you want to do is profile those customers. And some of the things that we did at a previous employer, a large bank, is we said, what other customers do we have that most closely resemble our best customers? So we did that analysis, and we found that there was actually a large pocket of customers just below the surface of our best customer group that didn't have a home mortgage. So we created a campaign around these customers, that's a home mortgage campaign. And it was very, very successful. And it moved those customers up into a new category. Those are things that you can do in your business. It is very affordable. It's not very hard. So now what we're thinking about is, okay, we know we want to retain them, obviously, sell more to them. we also want referrals from these best customers. Why? Why them? Because they like you, and have any of you, I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I was just saying, yes, they like that.
Have you heard of the very scientifically named theory, birds of a feather flock together? Your best customers know people like them, so the theory goes. So they could be very likely, not necessarily definitely, but very likely to refer similar types of people to you.
They also have a higher close rate.
Higher close rate,
If
exactly.
referred by someone that they know or trust, they're more likely to have the opportunity to close that business than a cold prospect.
Great. So they've got a much higher close rate when they come from people that they trust, which is one reason that social media is so great, right? So helpful. So what we want to do, we're going to round up here this best customer part of the presentation, but what we want to do is create an ongoing strategy, a relationship strategy around our best customers. We don't just want to do this hit or miss flavor of the month with them. I mean, we might do that flavor of the month strategy around our customers in general. Let's say a product of the month or something like that, or service of the month. But we can't do that same thing with our best customers. We've got to take a longer term view with them because they're the future of our franchise. So we've got to take more of a relationship, a more value-added aspect to our best customers. That might entail inviting them to events, special events that aren't open to the rest of the customers. It might be doing something for their children. It might mean tickets to a ball game or a theater, a concert, restaurant, doing something additional for them, but also making them smarter. I'm a firm believer that people want to be made smarter. Wouldn't I like my insurance advisor to make me smarter regarding my insurance products? Wouldn't I like a financial advisor to help me understand my finances better and build for the future? Of course. Of course. Wouldn't I want my the person who services my car to not necessarily turn me into a mechanic because he can't, but help me understand how to better maintain my car so I can save money? Of course I would. So these are real world ways that you can use marketing analytics to wrap your arms and your company's mindset around your best customers. So here's an example of the banking industry, how we use marketing analytics and automation. I worked for a bank in 4 states that had 700,000 customer households. And we created a system that, in a nightly basis, reached down into those customer households and pulled out customers that we wanted to make phone calls to and distributed them across branches in 4 states, 250 some odd branches. And over here were the customers that qualified for home equity accounts. Over here were the customers that qualified for asset management services. So these are things that you can do. Well, again, this was a big business that did this, but the technology is affordable to you. We were able to think about this, people sitting in your business waiting for a customer to come in, just waiting. That's what these folks were doing. We had them do outbound calls. They started doing over 300,000 outbound calls a year, making 30,000 extra sales every single year. They weren't paid any more money. It didn't take any more time. They were just using their existing time on their current salary dollars. And our customers loved it. That was automation at work using folks that were looking for things to do and wanting to better themselves. there's something that it should be really interesting to you that's called GIS, Geographic Information Systems. And all it is mapping your customers. And you can see parts of your trade area where you've got the most opportunity, where most of your customers come from, and it can be used quite well to determine what areas of a city that you want to market to, where you want to put a new store, etc. So you combine it with your customer database and you've got something super powerful. Questions on analytics? Let's move on to referrals. How many of you think the referrals are important? Absolutely. Now, how many of you have a referral strategy? There's one. Okay. Well, that's interesting because that described me. When we had our preschool, I thought, I love referrals. I just don't know how to get them. I mean, they're just luck. It depends on what, who a mom bumps into at a soccer game, whether or not she remembers that her child goes to our preschool. It's just luck. I can't build my marketing plan around it. Then I learn different. And I'm going to teach you that, or at least give you some ideas here in a second. But I think referrals come from really, I think about them in two ways. One is organic and one is systematic. And you've got to have both to have good referrals in your company. So organic, that means your customers, your vendors, your employees, and your entire network of people are referring you. And they're smart about referring you. And the reason that they refer you is because you're great. You're great at what you do. Now we're back to what? Brand promise. Did you design your customer experiences and your products, and are you executing in all aspects of your business in such a way that customers love doing business with you and just can't help but refer you? That's what I mean by organic referrals. Now, systematic is something a little bit different, and that is I'm planning out how I'm going to get referrals. And there are a couple ways to do this. I'll just give you an example from Busy Bees, how we did this. I got really tired of spending a lot of money on radio and direct mail. So I said, there's got to be a better way. And I noticed that my conversions from my referral leads were a lot better than from any other source. So I said, I actually worked with a coach. And I said, how can I speed this up? And so we worked together and came up with a solution. It's pretty simple. You can do something very similar. It's like this. We had 4 classrooms. And I worked with our director and I said, wouldn't it be great if you could go classroom by classroom, parent by parent, day by day, take them aside and say, how is your child doing? Is there anything else that you need from us? Are you happy with your teacher? Are they progressing the way you want? If the mom says, yes, absolutely, the next question that we would ask was, that's wonderful. We really want to build our business. And the best way we do it is through referrals from satisfied clients like you. Would you be able to give us 3 names over the next week of people that are looking for the same kind of experience for their child? And then, of course, people forget to do that, right? Not everybody remembers. And we had a follow-up strategy. That yielded us more business. We got up to 92 children. That yielded us more business than anything else. And we built it into our daily workflow. Now, I'll say the thing that we did prior to that was we made sure that we were referable.